Welcome to the channel. It's called Keep Low, KEEP/LO. Keep Low Productions is the company. I am the CEO, Lasheen Turner. I'd like you to subscribe, like, and share. Hit the notification bell and thumbs up bell. I appreciate everybody for rocking out with me. And if you'd like to get your Keep Low Production shirts, hit me in the comment section. Serious inquiries only. And thank you for rocking with the channel, which is called Keep Low. I appreciate you all, and I'd like you to enjoy the video. Thank you for rocking with Keep Low. This is Edenwald Projects in the Bronx. It's in the Bronx, New York. Edenwald Projects is on 229th Street in the Bronx. It goes all the way to like 223rd. It's a beautiful place to live. But if you come in there with anything besides peace, it can get real ugly. Peace, y'all. Right now I'm going to get into this videos. This is what I call the Edenwald Chronicles, because somebody got into my comment section and they asked me to do a video on this dude named Joe Pratt from Edenwald. So I'm gonna just give y'all a little my bio on him. Yo, check it. When I was a young kid in my teenage years, you know, me and my little crew, we was doing our shit. You know, me and my friends in Edenwald, we was running through Edenwald getting money or whatever. But we was just learning the streets, you know what I mean? Like probably 15, you know, and up in the teens. And we was learning the streets, and don't get me wrong, we was entrenched in the shit a little bit, but you know what I mean, there was grown men that were playing in the game, and one of the grown men that was playing in the game, his name was Joe Pratt, you feel me? And he had did a bid, and he came home with his man D, I'ma just say D, and they came home together. So like I was telling you, Joe Pratt and D, they came home together from doing like a couple of years upstate or whatever. And I mean like past 5 or whatever. So I think it was like the first week that he was home, they bust out the AMG Benzes, 2 white joints. And Joe Pratt had a white joint, and inside the seats, like in the seats right here, he had JP. And Dietrich, D had D on his and shit, and they had came home and they was doing their shit. So anyway, he had came through and he was like, all these young niggas getting money, and I don't know how he felt about the situation, but he was like, I'm gonna make all the D-Rug dealers from Edenwald Project pay me and shit. So he had came through there with a dude named Baby Shah, and me and Baby Shah had an interaction, because I'm gonna keep it 100. I was a young bull and I was doing my shit, and I was jetting a little bit fast and doing my shit, and I got caught out there. The nigga just rolled up on me with a like big 4.5 with a silencer, and he was like, yo, come in the building or I'll lay you out right here. And I just looking at the nigga like he crazy, but he was dead ass serious. So he tried to grab me up or whatever. And he took a couple little jacks or whatever from me, you know what I mean, a little pack or something, you know what I mean. It wasn't nothing too much, but he took like probably 300-400 from me and shit. So I went and got some dudes after he broke out and I broke out. So I went and got some older dudes that I was fucking with. Now I was in my teenage years at this time, but I was fucking with some older dudes like 25. And look, I think I lent one of them my hand or something. So I went to go get it, and the nigga was like, yo, I told him about the situation. He was like, yo, let's go take care of it. So we was going to take care of it, and we all rolled up in the car, and I was like, there goes son right there. And then the dude I was with was like, oh, that's my man. And then when the dude seen me walking with him, coming towards him, them niggas like embraced each other, and then he told him who I was. The nigga gave me a couple of my shits back, and we ended up getting cool like that. And he was shaking up other niggas in my projects because of Joe Pratt or whatever. He was shaking niggas up and making niggas pay, taking their packs. I'm talking about Baby Shah. But me and him ended up getting cool. He liked it that I was a shorty that was going hard, and he seen I came back with my niggas and I was gonna do whatever. So me and Baby Shah ended up getting cool, and it was just unfortunate that he did some shit downtown and niggas lit him up and he died or whatever. And the day I heard that the nigga died, you know, I felt bad about it. You know how sometimes you might run into a nigga and y'all meet on a bad or bad vibrations, but then y'all just raise your vibrations high and y'all get mad cool. Cause I was kind of fond of Baby Shy. You feel me? But getting back to Joe Pratt, so he was trying to make all the niggas in my projects pay, and he was telling niggas that if you don't work for me, you can't sell your work, this crazy shit. And in my mind, I was like, before this nigga try that dumb shit with me, I'll leave this shit and get a job, and I'll just sell my shit here and there. But I don't gotta be on a block every day with arguing with no nigga that's 45. I knew how to fade shit. And end up, he never really had no interaction with me personally. He never confronted me, tried to extort me or do nothing to me personally, so that was a good thing. But he did run into my brother Just, and my brother Just is a no-nonsense nigga. Shout out to all my peoples in Edenwald that know the real deal, and everybody that I fuck with in Edenwald. But my brother Justice is a no-nonsense nigga. Like, he ain't having it like I ain't having it, you feel me? And we wasn't having it ever since we was young, you know what I mean? So one day the nigga D, JP's man, had rolled up on me and Justice, and he was like, yo, y'all niggas is guard body, I like y'all. Me and Jamel got knowledge of so, cause Joe Pratt was calling so Jamel too, so he might have knowledge of so too, and I heard he do. So they was like, yo, we guard body, and DJ was like, yo, when we handling our business in the project with these niggas, you and Justice stay out the way, cause I took a liking to y'all little niggas. And he was a older nigga, like in his 40s or his late 30s, giving us some game when we was in our teenage years. But the nigga Pratt started making niggas pay in the projects, and his main shit was he'd roll up, and if you ain't did something he don't like, the nigga was brolic like a black bolo, like a little bit bigger than 50 Cent, and the nigga had boxing the Golden Gloves from what I heard, and he was just punching niggas in their jaw and breaking their jaw. He did that to a couple of niggas. So I think he tried to do that shit to my brother Justice, but Justice ain't going for it. Justice threw his hands up, even though he had a lot of niggas, and then I think he tried to pistol whip Justice. But we was young niggas that wasn't having it. But sometime in life, you gotta just lay low like Lilo until it's your time to shine, you feel me? And I'm not saying that in no pussy fashion. That could be in drama and anything. Sometimes you just gotta lay low until it's your time, you feel me? And this just a little video, y'all. I just wanted to drop y'all a little information on Joe Pratt, because you know what I mean, he's like a nigga that is known in Edenwald and shit, you know what I mean? And usually I wouldn't do a video about this dude. And look, I have nothing personal against him. He never really did nothing to me personally. But you know what I mean? You don't feel good about a nigga that try to put pressure on none of your mans or nothing. So, you know what I mean? Just when I was a younger kid, like I said, even though he ain't do nothing to me directly, just the way he was trying to come at younger niggas in the projects. And look, I'm not knocking this hustle. If you're gonna extort niggas and niggas is pussy enough to pay, then do what you do, you know what I mean? And I remember another incident with Joe Pratt, because he had a lot of connections or whatever the fuck at the time, and he was a well-respected dude at that time, and probably still is now, I don't know. But you know what I mean, we were younger teenage niggas, or the most of the niggas was less than 20, you feel me? And he was a grown man, like 45, that been in the streets all our lives and shit. So, that's just an Edenwald story. And these are my Edenwald stories on different things that transpired in Edenwald. And like I was telling you, the nigga Joe Pratt, he had came, because he be doing the prison shit a lot at that time. He probably did like 8 years or whatever the fuck he did. So he knew a lot of niggas, and he was connected with a lot of niggas in different boroughs that was in prisons. And when he came home, you know how niggas be like, I want to get some money. So he told them how they could get some money. So he was trying to tell them to come up and put pressure on niggas in my projects. And one day I heard the nigga was running through the projects with like 20, 30 niggas. And I just happened to see him walking, but you know what I mean, with like 20 niggas or whatever, and they was trying to put pressure on niggas. But like I said, I just faded that shit and kept about my business. And you know what I mean, long as my money didn't stop and nothing, I was good. So that's just some Edenwald Chronicles. And this is the video about the nigga Joe Pratt, because somebody asked me to do this video, and that's the only reason why I dropped this video, you feel me? But that's what it is, Edenwald shit. Edenwald's the second biggest project in New York. And there's some real shit that going. There's a lot of good people in there. Shout out to all my peoples in Edenwald. Love y'all, man. Y'all know we locked in forever. But it's just like, people are beautiful in there, and they show love. But if you go in there with anything besides peace, something bad could happen to you. Edenwald Projects in the Bronx. Shout out to the whole Edenwald. Shout out to the Bronx. Shout out to the whole New York. La Shane to God. If you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. It's called Keep Low. Yo, peace. Stay the fuck up. You heard me? Stay focused.